I'm about to jump into the intro for this video. I just want to be very clear though. I don't think I said it really good and drove it home until the very end, okay? This is not a complaint video about the Sennheiser, the Sennheiser e935. I knew it was a 935. I just wanted to make sure I had the writing going the right way. This is not a complaint video about that. I feel that if you're going to be gigging and doing live sound, you should know how to deal with stuff, feedback and stuff like that, and expect it to happen and have a plan to overcome it. On the same breath as that, we really don't have it. I had to deal with it with this. Again, not a complaint, just an observation. Awesome mic. I'm using it this Friday. Here's a video. Here you go. What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. Hey, I just want to start off real quick and say, go Detroit Lions, man. Coming up against the Niners this weekend, this Sunday. If you know, just by chance, if you are a fan of NFL, and I mean you're from another town or you root for another team, and if you've posted anywhere social media that you guys are happy for the Lions, that's cool, man. I may only reach like 2 of you, and I'm just one of a bazillion fans, but that's just cool to see those thoughts ring out, because it has been a long time, and this feels really good right now. So just like the team, high expectations, stay humble, work hard. True grit, and we'll just keep pressing on. I know that's what Dan Campbell and the whole team will be doing. So, but thank you guys for other teams. That's cool, man. I try to teach our son sportsmanship whenever I can, and that's a great example of it. So just thank you. So hey, I don't put together the most videos and stuff like that, but a lot of things I talk about is from practical experience and personal experience. So as the title probably says, I want to talk about the Sennheiser e935 and a little feedback issue. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is just something that you work through. All right. Just a little history. If you don't know, we're primarily acoustic duo, male-female vocals, one acoustic guitar. Male-female vocals, one acoustic guitar. And since around 2016, we've been using a Yamaha MG10XU mixer. Okay. So obviously we got a signal going out, XLR main out to the front of house, whether it's 1 or 2 speakers. But for a monitor, no matter what speaker we're using, we've always run it through, there's a 1/4 inch out labeled, if I'm not mistaken, monitor out. You get a monitor left, right. And the dial to control that is labeled, I think, monitor or phones, okay? So I'm pretty sure it only do one at a time. I've never tried it with both. But you get an exact copy of the front of house signal through that monitor out, okay? So whatever compression or EQ you may or may not have dialed in, you're getting the same thing in the monitor, okay? So obviously, as they say, a little bit of some compression can be bad. It's going to change how a vocalist reacts, because they're hearing it come through that monitor compressed signal. They may want to be louder. It may be trying to hold it back. They may be straining, stuff like that. So anyways, I'm just saying that exact copy. Okay. We've relied primarily on the processing from the floor monitor. For a while, I was using a DXR10, Yamaha DXR10, original DXR10 as a floor monitor. And then I think in 2018 or 19, the QSC CP8 come out, but it wasn't until 19 that we purchased one. And we've been using that as a floor wedge ever since. So if it's not a very reverberant place, we'll leave it on. I think it's labeled as the default position in the back. But if it is a reverberant place, a lot of reflections and stuff, we will put it on monitor, and that usually cures everything. So microphones, if it's me and Erin, she's using a wireless 58. I've used wired and wireless 58. I've used wired and wireless beta, wired Sennheiser e835. What else have I used? Audix OM2, the SEV7. I've used that, and through a bunch of different mics. Actually, an example right here just happens to be up here. Shure SM57. Out of all those examples, we just don't have problems with feedback unless I'm using my Hummingbird guitar and I'm playing something in the key of F. The bass notes in that key will ring out and start to cause just a low end rumble. It's easily mitigated by just turning sideways. But the problem is with that mixer, Again, it's exact copy from front of house, okay? So you rely on the speaker processing. Not a big deal. We've been successful. Small gigs, backed in the corner, everything bouncing off the walls, stuff like it's just good. It just works. Big outdoor spaces, 100 people, outdoor festivals, not an issue at all. Bring in the Sennheiser e935. This is not a complaint at all about the Sennheiser e935 because if you're running sound, you should know how to deal with feedback, I believe. So, but sometimes your equipment may limit you, okay? And then you have to logistically set things up if you can't deal with it with your equipment, right? So, what I have found with the Sennheiser E935, above all other mics, is the way I set my vocal mic up. I like to have the mic where I can sing, I don't know, moderately 2 inches away from the mic. Let's say a normal range. And when I get to higher things or things I may belt that are just going to get a few dB louder vocally, obviously I pull back. Yeah, we use a little bit of compression, but I'm still a big believer in, you be in control, you work the mic. On quieter passages, I'm sorry, the furnace just kicked on in the background. In the studio here, there's a wall furnace that I turn off when I try to record. Except for these videos. I mean, record. You know what I'm saying. But I'm a big believer in working the mic. But in certain songs with quieter passages, where some vocalists can still be loud with those softer spoken passages, I'm quieter with those softer spoken passages just naturally by default. So that's why I set my mic up to where I can get in on it and I can do those quieter passages, but still keep an equal output, coming out front, or at least something that can be heard clearly that works. So that's how I set this microphone up. That's how I gain stage for me, for my vocals. That's how I gain stage for the 57, for the 58, for the 835, for the Beta 58, for the OM2, whatever I decide to use, the V7, whatever else I've used. I got a old AKG, I can't even think of the D790, I think, used before. That's how I gain stage for me. And you do you gain stage for you and what works best for you. But what I've observed with the Sennheiser E935 is using that same gain stage method that has worked for every other mic. I don't even have to have a conversation about it. I have found in my short usage with this one, I will start to get some feedback. And now I'm trying to think back of where that was, and I don't think it was on the higher end. And it was just somewhere in the mids. It was definitely somewhere in the mids where this was feeding back. And you could hear it coming on, and it, if it's guitar, you can mitigate something real quick by turning to the side, like I said with the Hummingbird. And again, that only happens if I play in the key of F. And that's capoed 3rd fret if I'm in standard tuning, playing in the D formation. So I get the problem with this, and I hear it, and it starts coming on, starts ringing, and the one time did it with me and Erin once on a very low key level, and she's heard it and I heard it, but it was very low key, and even tried just turning the mic a little bit. And I understand cardioid mic. I set the floor monitor up accordingly, behind this and down, as opposed to, maybe 45 degrees for a supercard. So I tried just turning the mic real quick to mitigate it. We were able to get through the gig, but it rings out the back of my mind because I don't have those things. We should go there, and I always look at it, especially a duo. We shouldn't really have to deal with feedback a whole bunch. That's the way I've looked at it, or at least been successful with it. Maybe I've been lucky. But for this microphone right here, it had been an issue. Now, me and my buddy did a duo gig about a month ago, and we were stuffed in a corner, and we were up against more of a wall with the corner just off to our left. But there was a point in the gig where it's just, we're a little bit embarrassingly, I was singing, and then he had to go over and try to adjust the monitor. I had already put it on default, a monitor setting. So anyways, that's just an observation, okay, with this microphone. Everything else being equal, I want you to understand, everything else being equal with other microphones, we haven't had that problem. Just with this. Again, not a complaint, okay? I wish we were using a better board where we can control that. Well, ironically, I think for this Friday's gig, if you've watched anything, um, I we picked up a Allen and Heath CQ18T that I've been working with, getting familiar with, and getting some settings going. Um, Getting some settings going for that. So basically, with that right there, at the very least, we could use the the feedback assistant on there, and that should take care of that, no problem. So so that's not going to be an issue. Not only that, I could use the parametric EQ on better on the microphone. I could use the parametric EQ better on the monitor channel, the output channel. So now I can be in control of that. So I don't expect this, So it's pretty cool being able to kind of use that to kind of messing around here in the studio, ringing out the monitors and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope this helps you somehow. If not, that's cool. It's just an observation, okay? All the other mics, we've been successful. I like to have my mic hot, like I said, to where, or at least hot enough to where 1.5 to 2 inches off is about normal. Obviously work back to belt it a little bit, but I like to be able to get in on it for the softer spoken stuff where I still want to keep the output level up. So I set this up just like the other mics. It's an observation with this. To be clear, I love the clarity in this mic. I love the rich low end in this mic. And yeah, I should say the detail, the detail, even when you're up on it. So definitely not a gig on this mic whatsoever. I hope you watch this all and hope you understand that. So I think that's it. God bless you guys, man. Thank you for doing live music. I always make sure that we thank the places too, publicly over the microphone. Thank the house for having us there, for keeping live music going. So that's really cool. So hope you guys are good. We'll catch you next time. And just an observation, awesome mic. Plan to use it this Friday. You guys be good. See ya.